I'm Max, and today's news has been curated with AI assistance. While we strive for accuracy, please be aware that some information may vary. In the UK media landscape, there's significant activity surrounding the Spectator magazine, which was recently purchased by hedge fund manager Sir Paul Marshall for $100 million. Previously, a bid from Abu Dhabi was unsuccessful. Marshall, already known for his involvement in right-wing media, is eyeing acquisitions of the Daily Telegraph and Sunday Telegraph. These moves highlight the ongoing struggle for media influence driven by financial and ideological interests. In financial news, U.S. stocks have experienced their best week of the year, spurred by tech leaders such as Microsoft and Broadcom. The S&P 500 increased by 0.5%, approaching its July high. Meanwhile, Uber stocks surged by 6.4% following its announcement of a collaboration with Waymo for autonomous ride-hailing in Austin and Atlanta. This market optimism is partly due to easing Treasury yields and speculation about a Federal Reserve interest rate cut, which investors anticipate being the first since 2019, potentially easing economic pressures. As for advancements in transportation, Uber and Waymo have expanded their partnership to launch robotaxi services in Austin, Texas, and Atlanta. This development marks a strategic shift towards autonomous technology, overcoming past legal disputes between the companies. In the legal arena, Sam Bankman-Fried remains in the spotlight as his legal team appeals his fraud and conspiracy convictions tied to the collapse of the FTX cryptocurrency exchange. They argue the trial was biased and lacked important evidence. Bankman-Fried, now serving a 25-year sentence, claims this case is one of the most significant financial fraud cases in recent history. Switching to the aviation industry, United Airlines is set to introduce free in-flight Wi-Fi next year via Elon Musk's Starlink satellite service, aiming to enhance passenger experience with high-speed internet. This move joins United with other airlines offering complementary connectivity and is contingent on necessary regulatory approvals. In a different legal matter, Iceland's prominent fishing company, Samherji, is suing Icelandic artist Oddur Eysteinn Friðriksson over a spoof website and alleged trademark infringement. This lawsuit centers around past corruption scandals, drawing attention to artistic freedom and the UK's growing reputation as a litigation hub. Friðriksson, also known as Oddi, faces substantial legal costs but remains firm in his stance. Turning to the economy, China is confronting challenges reminiscent of Japan's 1980s experiences, with declining property prices, deflationary pressures, and an aging population. While some aspects of China's manufacturing and electric vehicle sectors remain strong, the economic slowdown poses risks globally. Particularly affected could be Australia, where falling commodity prices threaten recovery. This scenario may prompt the Reserve Bank of Australia to consider cutting interest rates. In San Francisco, homeowners are seizing the opportunity to refinance mortgages as interest rates dip to 6.2%, the lowest in 19 months. While some benefit from sub-6% rates, others are advised to consider factors like refinancing costs and long-term stay. Back in the UK, the national debt is expected to triple over the next 50 years, driven by an aging population and climate challenges. The Office for Budget Responsibility warns of the need for increased taxation or enhanced productivity to prevent fiscal instability, with public spending projected to soar and surpass income growth. In corporate developments, Lloyds Banking Group is closing 55 additional branches in response to the shift towards digital banking, despite a promise of no direct job losses. While transactions in-branch have plummeted by 55% in 5 years, Lloyds plans to ensure cash availability via post offices and ATMs, with more bank hubs to support affected communities. Meanwhile, PwC faces a 6-month ban and a hefty fine in China following audit failures linked to Evergrande's collapse. With the penalties amounting to 441 million yuan, PwC has dismissed several partners and aims to overhaul its practices while staying committed to its operations in China. In labor news, Air Canada has tentatively agreed to terms with its pilots' union, the Airline Pilots Association. This potential agreement, offering a 46% value increase over the previous contract, staves off a strike or lockout after extensive negotiations. Labor Minister Steve McKinnon commended the resolution, contrasting it with recent rail dispute interventions. Lastly, Home Depot has settled a claim in California over alleged false advertising for $1.9 million, agreeing to improve price accuracy at checkout. These legal measures aim to bolster consumer trust, despite the minor impact on the company's financials considering its recent acquisitions. That concludes our news broadcast. We appreciate you tuning in and will continue to bring you news that matters. Stay informed and take care.